Hello, everyone. It's Jason Davis. I'm doing a video today called How to Play the Sax. And what we'll be doing is I'm approaching this as if I'm working with a beginner who has a saxophone and they've been kind of working on it on their own for, maybe the short amount of time that they've had it. And all of a sudden, they need a lesson. So I'll get right to it. Untitled Chapter, Jason Davis Jazz. You can email me at jasondavisjazz@yahoo. Give me a call, like, subscribe, share. Join me on Instagram, South Dallas Jason, Dallas Jazz Collective. If you don't know me, it's a pleasure to meet you. This is for beginning saxophone. So this is a neck strap. This is the strap that we're going to put around our neck. We want to be able to make sure it's not twisted or anything. Make sure we're on the right side, right? So that it comes out and bends out, right? Do that. This is the cool part. This is the part you get to walk around and say, hey, I'm a sax man, I got the neck strap on. Then we have several parts of the mouthpiece. This is the reed. This is very important. Mine is black. I use a plastic cover reed. And they come in different strengths. I use a number 2. This is my mouthpiece. It's made by a gentleman named Theo Wani. It's a Durga 3. My opening is a 9. It's a custom mouthpiece. It's 24 karat gold. And on a typical mouthpiece, which I have one somewhere, the little thing that holds the reed onto the mouthpiece is called a ligature. But mine is built in, and it comes with these different notches here. But there are different kinds of ligatures out there. Now I'm just going to do a breeze through of this. I'm not going to go into trying to tell you what to buy or anything. If you have a horn, you'll figure this little part out. The mouthpiece is going to be very important in the process. So what I like to tell my beginning students about the mouthpiece and the reed is you can handle this bottom part of the reed, but try not to handle this top part like you see me doing. I'm tapping on it and doing that. Well, I know how not to break a reed because I learned how easy it is to break a reed. So you got to be careful with that. You want the reed to be even with the tip of the mouthpiece right there. Like I said, don't do what I'm doing. That's not how you check it. You got to eyeball it. But I'm just kind of showing you where that is. You want that to be even. If you push the reed up, it's going to make the reed harder. It's going to be more resistance. It's going to be harder to play. Your bottom lip is going to give out quicker. If you pull the reed down, it's going to make the reed softer. It's going to be easy to play on, but it's going to be harder to control when you're trying to hold a note. So you need that balance of the resistance. So that's where you find it at, is the reed going up makes it harder, the reed going down makes it softer, and the ligature going down or back, if you're looking at it like this, then it's going to go back. That's going to make the reed harder, and it's really not going to move my ligature on something like this because it requires like some sort of 6-pointed Allen wrench to get this to move. So I don't have one of those handy, so I don't usually move this a lot. I kind of leave mine still. But when I'm using a regular ligature, I might play back and forth with leaning my ligature back and moving my reed forward. So I get that feel that I want for the room. So you can kind of tune it in the timbre of what you got going on there. So I like to get it on there really tight. So that's a little bit about the mouthpiece. Now the mouthpiece also when I'm starting to teach any level saxophone, I'm gonna tell you just spend some time playing the mouthpiece. Try to get the lowest tone you can get. Right. I'm trying to play over the rainbow with just a mouthpiece. But I'm doing that because your lip, the bottom lip, needs to be flat. Out of all that I've been told about embouchure, I'm feeling that the flat bottom lip is the way. Because the reed is flat. Want that bottom lip flat? Right? You want to breathe from your diaphragm, and I'm not just saying it because people tell you, but you don't want to breathe and your shoulders move. If your shoulders are moving, you're breathing wrong. Okay? You want to breathe where your shoulders are not moving and your stomach is moving. That's where how you breathe. Period. If you're breathing like this, breathing wrong, you're gonna hurt yourself. Breathe from your stomach, not your lungs. You hear that? Whew, the air is going. It's none of that. Like what I was doing earlier. Watch this. Oh, that reed is vibrating, it's cutting, that lip is flat. Yeah, it's registering. You want that to be happening with a mouthpiece for beginning saxophone. I probably should have done this with a little simple mouthpiece, but didn't do it. All right. This is the neck. The neck of the saxophone. Kind of easy to remember. I got a little paper on mine. This is cork here, but I mark mine sometimes if the cork wears out. I put paper on. None of this stuff I advise you to do. I advise you to take care of your saxophone. That just slides on there. If you got it like that, where you can see the reed, it's wrong. Pretty much want it with the reed down, right? Let me just play on this for a while. Now notice my embouchure, my lips. Basically, you're gonna say peach, 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 peach. Fold that bottom lip a little bit over the T, all right? A little bit over that, but keep it flat. The teeth, put them on top of the mouthpiece right there. Now, I started with a double cuff embouchure. I don't want this to be on my hair sticking up. I don't want this to be one of those double cuff embouchure things, and I probably will disable the comments for this too. But I started on clarinet with a double cuff embouchure. In 1983 on clarinet like that. And that was comfortable for me. It felt good because it was a little clarinet mouthpiece would mess with my vibrate my teeth, and I didn't like it. Lip there to stop that vibration. That's the only reason I use double cuff thing. Now, after doing that on clarinet, I don't mind, playing like that on saxophone, but it's just not what I do now. That's a double cuff. That's cuffing your lips over your top teeth and over your bottom teeth. There's no double cuff. I just naturally, without the double cuff, I'm using less jaw pressure, less lip pressure, and I can balance. You see how I just breathe? Wrong. Can't breathe like that. It's breathing from up here. Watch it. Right. You want to just get a solid tone. Now it's tempting to do all this stuff. So once I get that going, I would say you place the neck onto the horn. Now, for $1 million, somebody walked up to me tomorrow and said, "How many keys on the saxophone?" Boy, I would lose that one. The trumpet players would be rich, wouldn't they? Only 3. So the thing is, once we get the horn together, this little hook here is going to go here. Real important that you secure the saxophone with the neck strap, and we'll talk a little bit about how tight it needs to be. Most people like to have it down low and just play all kind of whatever way, but in actuality, when I practice, I have the neck strap extremely tight, almost where it makes me raise my heart. Right? I do that because it makes me breathe different when I have to raise my head. And if you watch certain videos, you see players talking about playing downward like that and shooting. You see all that? It looks kind of crazy, but it definitely changes the tone. So I practice kind of stiff. Uh, Sometimes, not all the time. I don't do the same thing every time. Right. So if I'm teaching a new saxophone player, I mean, I'm really just trying to find out what they already know, what they already like. There's no certain way to approach a beginner because some people can just play. Some people, some people can just play really good. If you got any questions, let me know. But so you got the horn together now. So what you want to try to do now is you want to try to deal with back to the breathing. You want to make sure that you're breathing correctly and that your the embouchure is correct. So I tell you, you want to cuff your lip just a little bit, not like you bobbing for apples, but you want to just cushion, right, and flat. You want to say the word peach. You want to get a little bit of these. See, I got all these little smiley muscles that are coming in. One thing is you want to think about this like a vocalist. Raise your eyebrows, open your back teeth. You know what I mean? Peach, flatten that bottom. Don't sad face, but just right there in the middle of a sad and a happy face. This needs to be relaxed. These 2 parts of your lips, and if you are an intermediate or advanced saxophone player, this might help you. These 2 parts of your lips need to be flexible, right? It don't need to be like. What I mean is, watch the sound when I got a step on the show. You hear that sound like a buzzsaw? Now watch it, everybody. Oh, more choral. It's agreeing with the space that you're playing in. If you getting all this tightness, it's like being a muscle bound man with the key to the wrong lock. Like you're trying to you got all the muscle, you got the wrong key to the lock. You got your locks and keys mixed up. So you're locking up the sound like that, using all this jaw pressure. And you should be using the lip pressure on the side. This should be flexible so that reed can vibrate, so that this can have control to shape the sound in a natural way. So, the most important note I've been told to get in tune on the saxophone is this note. It's a B. Now, I can't spend a lot of time on the fingering of the saxophone, but I will tell you this. If you're looking at a saxophone and you're thinking, okay, this first key up here, mine looks like this. Some of them look like where they're coming down like one of these keys, but coming down. You want to skip that one. You want to go to this one, this little bitty one. You want to skip that one, go to that one, and then play the next one to it. And I tend to call that 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? This pinky finger is going to control all of these right here. All of these. This one, the inside one, the outside one, and the bottom. Okay? Don't put your pinky back here. That's the first thing I'm looking for. I can tell you got a bad habit there if your pinky is flying back there. Because most people that begin playing, their pinky don't want to be up here. But you got to have your pinky up here ready. Okay? So my hands are very small, and I had to stretch when I was a little kid to get to that low B flat. That was one of my finger would barely go down. I used to hate to see that note coming. Okay, so that's that hand. You do have a set of palm keys here that you don't need to push yet. Leave those alone. Try not to make your hand push those down because you won't get any sound. Okay, so you got the first one right there, 2 and 3. So you skip, play, skip, play, play, right? And I'll tell you what those keys are for, maybe later on. Now, at the bottom is pretty simple. They're right next to each other, 1, 2, and 3. So remember that, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know, down here you only have these two to cover with your pinky. That one and that one. We'll talk about what they are. But I would say spend time with the saxophone, watch what the keys do. Like push this thing right here down with your pinky and watch what it does. Ooh, it makes both of those go down. So when you play that note and if something goes wrong, you know, oh, it must be a leak or something is not sealing in there. I need to take that to the shop and let them run a light down there to see where the light is coming out. Where the light is, you can see where the air is, okay? So sometimes you have keys sticking. Like watch this. I push that down and this one don't want to really come up. Hear that sticky? Hey look, that's a sticky key. That happens when you play. This is a sticky key. When you play that with your pinky, this is supposed to open. Sometimes, if you eat candy or do anything like that, boom, that key's gonna stick. And that's a big deal, because if you're in the key of E minor, or if you're in the key of E major, and you're trying to play that G sharp, and that key's sticking, it's gonna make sound. You don't know what in the world you're doing, especially on a slow song. So you wanna make sure those keys aren't sticking. So, on the back, you got this little black little thumb rest here. Some of them are pearl, some of them are black, but that doesn't do anything. Just rest your thumb. There's this little side thing here that makes the top of your neck, activate right there on the horn, okay? It's called the octave key. On the clarinet, it's called a register key. Back there, you see the clarinet one has a hole in it where that actually does something. That's called a register key. And the difference between a register key and an octave key is that when you push that button on the clarinet, it makes all of the notes down here, the same fingerings, change names into different notes because they're the same fingers, but they're in a different register. So they don't quite go up an octave. They go up another register. But when you press this button on the saxophone, all the notes down here become the notes of an octave. Not all of them, but most of the notes down here become the notes of an octave just by pushing that one button. Okay, so you have a thumb rest here. It's important that you utilize this neck strap and this thumb rest, because if not, you will get a big knot that will pop out of your elbow. And it's like tennis elbow. And it will not go away for about 6 months. So, so use your neck strap. That didn't scare you. You play long enough, you'll learn that certain things you can get away with, but over time, if you try that for hours and hours and hours, it will come back and bite you. So the information I'm giving you is based upon experience. You got the saxophone together. We kind of, okay, we talked about the embouchure. Let's talk about hand position. Next thing I want to do is make sure that you got your hands like you're holding 2 green tennis balls. Okay? Well, we got a live check on the top. All right. 2 green tennis balls, okay? You want to be like you're holding the green tennis ball. I like to do some finger exercises like this. This is the stuff I like to do. When my thumb just goes and connects with my fingers, and I'm doing the same finger on both hands, and I like to do opposite fingers, right? Just to kind of make sure that I'm not locked in on just that movement of that. Then I like to do this this hand exercise where my middle finger here is going to stay still, and this finger is going to go down, and these two are going to go up like that. Looks like that. I'll turn it. That feels good. You hear my hand popping. Right, like that. And both hands. Right. And so then I'll do stuff like where I'm just trying to move one finger. Leave the other one still. Right. So you want to get your fingers moving and get your individual finger dexterity happening and get everything lucid and popping and good, right? Hand exercise, I know about. You can do a little bit of that, a little bit of that. You can do that, and you can turn your neck that way. Extend your arm, your neck, opposites like that. Right, return. So those are some of the things you can do if you start to get cramps in your hands and all the different things, whatever we want to call it now. So you want your hands like tennis balls. You want to keep your fingers on the keys. So those exercises I'm doing are important so that when I'm playing, I can push keys without the rest of my hand moving. So now I'm being very exact about what I'm pushing, and it's like a well-oiled machine because the fingers rest back on the keys. But you know, we're flying, right? But there is a way to fly closer to the keys. What I tend to do in that respect is when I'm practicing, I'll practice with my fingers way over here, way in the middle, moving all the way out to the outside of the keys. You see I'm starting out there? And now I'm close to the center of the keys. Now I'm really not even on the keys. I practice everywhere over here. Scales, anywhere I want. So that my fingers accidentally press any part of this key. It's nothing to me. So with supporting the horn, you want to push with this hand and pull with this hand. It's one of the most simple things I can tell you, but it's push with your right hand, pull with your left hand. If you were playing flute, it would be like this. Sax, see how it is? Pushing with that hand and pulling with this hand, right? Like a flute would go like that, right? Think about that inverted this way. Right? That's what we want to do. Push and pull. That way you got the right amount of right quick, right? You hear that sound growing? I'm not pushing the air. I'm pushing the horn and pulling the horn in so that the embouchure is tightening from that one move. Now I found the balance of what doesn't feel uncomfortable. Right? Notice my lips aren't moving, my head isn't moving. I'm not playing as if I'm talking or nothing like. You don't have to move this right here unless you want to move. The sound is coming from your fingers articulating on the key, on and out. Now I want to go right, so I'm doing it. Now listen, if I just went without moving my mouth. Right? I'm not using the expression of my mouth. And watch if I use the expression of my mouth without moving. I'm just doing this. Right? That's all I'm doing, just a little more air. We'll watch them together. Getting two effects at once. When you think about guitar players, sometimes they're bending strings and slapping the strings and doing this and, you know, doing a vibrato at the same time and bend, right? So you're thinking about that. You want to learn how to play with the even tone. And as you notice, I was just tightening the corners, flattening this out, raising my eyebrows, just trying to see if I could get more edge and brightness on the outside of my sound. So what's happening now, and I can feel it, is my reed is either getting or it's too low, or my lips are getting strong. And if your lips are stronger than what the reed is giving you in resistance, the thing to do is take the reed off, save it as a performance reed, because you got your practice reeds that you're trying to break in and continue with. And you get one playing, put it to the side, and when it's time to play, have that one ready to go. Right, instantly, I moved my reed. That's what I did. I moved my reed, what we would consider up, where I made it a harder reed. Right, instantly, my sound wasn't just simply moving the reed. A lot of people start to throw stuff away. That's not the thing to do. You gotta know how to work that. Listen to this sound. Did you hear that? How loud it was? That that's like conducting all the way to the end of the saxophone. And that's another thing with the breathing. You know, there's air already inside of this tube. You're just pushing the air that's in there. So you don't have to really think about it. He said breathe, right? No, you're just pushing the air that's in there through there. Cause listen, right? That's air in there. That's that low note. So I'm pressing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm pressing this low C key and this low B flat. That's where you get that. It's called a subtone when you're just playing that low. And that was full volume. But that's the way you strengthen your lips, is by playing soft, long notes that are steady, because your muscles are really just trying to get used to what you want them to do. So I don't advise playing a bunch of different brass versus woodwind. And my teachers, when I was growing up, wouldn't even let me mess with flute because they wanted me to keep a certain embouchure for the saxophone. What I did was I later on adopted a flute embouchure, which is the peach, right, for the saxophone, and which that helped my ability to learn how to play flute, which I use a flute embouchure on saxophone. So I can play that cool subtone too, but I can go real gritty without moving my mouth, where I'm just using more of my vocal effects and where I'm placing my tongue on the lead. I want to do more videos, y'all. This is video number 1. I want to keep this one under 40 minutes. So I hope this was helpful if you're, if you know a little bit about the saxophone, but you want to kind of go back and think about some more stuff. I think the next thing we'll start talking about is, what the notes are, the fingerings, and all of that stuff. And perhaps I'll write a beginning saxophone method book. I do have some books out. I'm going to put some links in the description to tell you where you can find some of my products, my books. I have some free educational tools as well, some stuff you can just download in PDF from my books. Got new records coming out, got music coming out with great musicians. I'll be back to talk more about that, but this is just show number 1. I'm kind of testing it out. Thanks for viewing. I appreciate you. Jason Davis Jazz, South Dallas Jason. I think the How to Play the Saxophone series is going to be good. This is video number 1. I know it's so much I skipped over, but I hope this helps. I'll go more in depth next time. Later.